Hello everyone, and welcome back for another league. So I've been following all the teasers and reveals very closely and doing a lot of theory crafting, and I think I came up with a really fun build that I can't wait to play. So to start off, let's go over the relics. So for the tier 1s, in the past I usually have picked stuff like Skilling Prodigy, which is what Abundance is like, but this time I want to do something a bit different. You know, the plus 10 boost is very good for snowballing, the plus 2, or the extra 2 experience isn't that great, and I don't really value the coins that much. Endless Harvest is really good for AFK, and the double resources is also very good for training, but I think this time I want to go with Barbarian Gathering. After getting the skilling tools in the previous leagues, I really do like the boosted success rate it has, because it lets you do stuff like magic trees instead of teak trees and make them viable for experience. The knapsack also helps it AFK a bit by giving you more inventory, even if it's not as good as Endless Harvest. And also having all the skilling tools will be a pretty nice boost early on, as well as some passive strength and agility experience. So I don't know, it seems like at least a fun one to try, so I will be locking in Barbarian Gathering as my first relic. So, yeah, and with this, now I'm going to try and get enough points for the next tier. I don't know, there's a lot to go over, a lot of things to unlock, because there's also the Demonic Pacts now, which I do have a point in. Oh, I think I got 2 points? Or no, 1 point. I got 2 and already spent 1. To start off, I'm just going to be going into Magic for early game. I plan to reset before I get into like my actual builds. But yeah, for early on, I'm planning to go Magic. I'll have to look exactly how I want to path this all, because it's depends on all the other unlocks and what I get to unlock when. But yeah, I think starting off Magic is going to be a pretty good route. So yeah, let's just lock that in now. And yeah, so I'm going to be putting Barbarian Gathering to use, trying to knock out a bunch of the easy tasks, and hopefully come back with my tier 2 relics soon. I haven't even finished my lap around Varlamore to knock out some of the easy tasks, and I'm already at the next relic. So all 3 of the tier 2s are very good support relics. Forger I took last year to help with Herb Lore. Woodsman is kind of like the hunter benefits from Animal Wrangler last year with some fire making and fletching, but the one I want to go for is Hotfoot. Now, it might seem a little redundant because I already have Barbarian Gathering, which gives me agility, and this is mostly an agility relic, you know, like the Sage's Boots and all, and I just realized it's going to require me to be at a bank to get them. 1 second. As I was saying, it does overlap a bit with Barbarian Gathering, since the Searing Boots here give agility like the Sage's Greaves, and it also gives a lot of agility effects like double termites. It teleports you to the end of the course when you get Marks of Grace or a termite and gives you 10k. It has, you know, the 25% bonus experience, etc., etc. So a lot of agility perks, which does seem a little redundant, but just the passive experience from Barbarian Gathering isn't going to be enough to get 99 unless you get like 50 mil in all 3 gathering. So the extra experience will help there. And the main reasons I want it is it auto cooks food and auto smelts ores mined. And with my planned regions, it's a little hard to do mining. So I'm going to be locking in Hotfoot as my second relic. And now I can get even more agility experience running around. And now I can really start on mining and fishing, since I'll get the auto cook and auto smelt. And with just 1 more log, there is 80 tasks for my first region and 12 or 1.2k points for my next relic. So yeah, it takes a while to lock Karamja in this league compared to the previous, but there's my first region, and now unfortunately, it's like, I think 120 tasks till I can get my proper first region, which is a bit unfortunate, or a little more delayed than I was hoping, but I don't know, the first 80 wasn't too bad, so for the next 120 aren't going to be either. As for the relic, all of these are pretty good, but I'm going to go for a bit of boss-heavy regions this time, so I want to try out Evil Eye. And there's also one thing I'd like to check right now, and can this teleport me right to the Inferno? I'd assume not, but let's find out. Karamja, and nope. So you still do have to get the Fire Cape first. But yeah, I'm going to keep working on some tasks around Varlamore, probably head to Karamja and work on some of them, and hopefully get to the next tier of relic not too far from now. I'm still a ways off from my next relic, but as I've been running around doing tasks in Varlamore, I kind of ran out of money, so I think now's a good time to come here to the Worm course, because I did get the agility level just from running around, and the other reason I wanted Hotfoot is because if I do this course now, every time I get termites, oh, I have to talk to the guy first, every time I get termites, it will teleport me to the end and give me 10k coins, which should help me a lot with getting the money to buy runes and other stuff I've been lacking. Also, I got a couple experience lamps, and I'm saving them up because rune crafting is really hard to train this league, So my plan is I'm going to do the Karamja Easy Diary, and then once I get that lamp on runecrafting, I'll use these lamps, and that should be able to get me to level for Cosmic Runes, so then I can start runecrafting normally from there. But yeah, gonna do some Worm Agility, and hopefully get to the next relic. And I think with that random event, I was able to get tier 4. So, and I also still need to use up these lamps on rune crafting or whatever else. But yeah, this is probably one of the more exciting tiers, and one I was really hoping to push for. One, I heard it's actually bugged, and instead of giving the normal rewards, it also is giving 12 times experience, so I'll have to double check that, because that would definitely be very nice. But the relic I want to go for is Transmute. It's pretty much the new Golden God. This one gives passive resources with experience. This one's a clue relic, and I don't really care that much for clue relics. But this one not only allows you to auto-cast new transmute spells instead of alchemy that require no runes because the book provides all the runes you need, but it can tier up and down resources, which seems very good. Now, it doesn't work the best with Barbarian Gathering. Sorry, blank there for a second. Because I can already harvest off the higher tier resources like magic logs, but this allows me to turn those magic logs into like redwood logs and turn like iron ore still into runite to sell for talkol. So I don't know, this has a lot of applications, even if it isn't the strongest applications. And more importantly, I can now cast these spells from level 1. So this is going to be some crazy magic experience. So just to show how insane this spell is, I got some normal bones here, knowing I was going to be able to do this. I just got to 12 magic, tiered them up to bat bones, and I can keep going all the way up to, well, Superior Dragons need 70 prayer, but I can go up to Dagonoth bones, which will be how I can get my prayer up, so I can start using the bone shards. So yeah, I'm really going to start snowballing now, already on Wormling bones, and the magic levels are just flying in. I also did buy some fire runes, so I can transmute them up. This is also a way I can get wrath runes, but for now I'm probably just going to transmute fire runes to like nature runes to sell for some more money or something, because yeah, the agility worm, I got to like 80k coins. It wasn't the best source of money though, just because it took a while to get termites. I think it might have a cooldown like Mars of Grace, but still was pretty decent. And yeah, this is going to be so nice for getting some resources. Oh, lava dragon bones. But yeah, I think Dagonoth are the best I can go for, so I'm going to use that to get some prayer. And with this kill, I should hit a pretty big milestone. Unfortunately, I didn't get any dragon legs. That would have been really nice. But yeah, that is another pact point, and with that, I should be able to hit the first big unlock, which is this one here. All combat spells in spellbooks are 2 ticks faster. So now, instead of my elemental spells being 5 ticks, they will be 3 ticks. So let's just head back out there and see how quickly I can tear through an iron dragon now. I can't quite cast the Fire Surge yet, but when I regenerate runes, it boosts my level, so that's how I was casting it. Okay, now I can cast it. So, yeah. Now that I have Wrath runes and a high magic level, I should be tearing through these now, though of course I'm not hitting. Though it does seem like, I actually did not realize this. If I'm missing, the fire regen that adds a minimum hit seems to still be applying for the next hit that does land. So if you miss a bunch, you just hit really high the next time, which is honestly really cool. So yeah, but the next task for the packs will actually be Huey. So I might want to try doing the Mass World for that. But yeah, for the time being though, I might just get back to working on some normal tasks and restocking my runes, because I did not have nearly enough elemental runes for this. Oh, well, that's fortunate. So I came here to kill a scorpion for that task, but there's a star, so I guess I could just mine the star, because, yeah, it turns out I very quickly got 1 task away from a new region. So now I'm able to unlock that. I was hoping to get the relic first, but, yeah, I don't know, just was knocking out some easier tasks just to round off the region real quick. So, yeah, I also have been working a bit on Hunter and some other skills, did a bit of construction, and trying to work towards quests, and already hit 99 magic from transmuting, and definitely sorted out my runes now. So, yeah. But for my first region, so I've been looking forward to this region for a while, because it's one I'd never picked before, and have considered in the past. It is the Wilderness. And it might also make some of my other choices make a little more sense now. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get the Kopesh this year, but there is a very nice crossbow that I am looking forward to playing with later on. And it also just has a lot of nice content, not a ton on the skilling front, but just a lot of bosses that synergize well with Evil Eye. Also, the agility course and the lap count should synergize with Hotfoot, so I don't know, it should be a pretty fun region and a very good first region, especially because, well, I have a pretty good mage build, and a lot of things in the region are weak to magic. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to rush to go do the content there now. I definitely would like to finish off my next relic first, but there is my first region unlocked, and there's going to be a lot of fun stuff in there. And for the final task to get my tier 5 relic, I thought it'd be fitting to do the super compost here. So there we are, fill a bucket with super compost. Now that I can teleport to a bank real quick, wish this menu was a little easier to use. I can not do last destination, but I can't have one to like fairy ring and one to the bank. Oh well. But yeah, if I go here, I should be able to claim my relic. So, as you might have a small inkling, the relic I'm going for is going to be Nature's Accord. I don't really care that much about the thieving, and rune crafting is a pain, but especially with the wilderness, I already got prayer covered, so it just made most sense to go with farming, especially because with Evil Eye, I don't have the best teleports around the region, so the Fairy's Mushroom will help a lot. And also, I have been holding off on herb lore. I really would like to get it up because at first light needs 30 herb lore. So this will make it a lot easier to farm herbs once I can actually get my thieving up so I can get some herb seeds. So yeah, but after this, I probably will... Also, it is a bug. The experience is a tier lower. So yeah, Nature's Accord is my tier 5 relic, which will help a lot with both farming and for just general teleports around, and I'm probably going to look into doing some of those quests like Death on the Isle so I can get my thieving up, so I can then get seeds and start farming, as well as checking out the wilderness content. I've been on such a roll with tasks that I still haven't even gone to the wilderness and done anything there. But yeah, I just kept doing like one more task, and then I started getting close to the next tier of relics, so I'm like, well, I might as well just push that out first. And yeah, I think if I smith this here, I'm not sure if I need to make the full grapple, but somewhere in this process it should, is it that? There we go, Great Myth Grapple. So there is a tier 6 relic. And the reason I want this is supposedly it is bugged and you are getting the 12 times experience in this tier instead of this tier, or the 16 times. I already have the 12 times. So with so many tasks and stuff, it made sense just to try and get this first. And the other reason is the relic I'm going to pick. Now, Grimoire would be great for Ancients because I'm not picking Desert this year. Infinite Food was really nice in Gridmaster, and I kind of would like to have it again, but Calling Spree is just too good, especially with Wilderness Slayer. So it lets me pick from 3 tasks, pick between 5 and 200, so easy skipping. One will always be a boss task, which is very good, especially with Evil Eye. And I always get the Slayer Helm Eye effect without having one equipped, which means I can also stack it with set effects. So I don't know, it just seems like the strongest one, and it should make Slayer very good, because I do currently have a Crab Slayer task, and I was going to wait for that to get my meelees up. I already got some range up on the Gemstone Crab, so I could get Mixed-Eyed. Already got the armor, so now I can use that for melee. So yeah, I might knock out that Slayer task now that I'm going to get a 15% boost on it. But I definitely need to go check out the wilderness now, because I'm almost at my next region. Well, I plan to do this a lot sooner, but yeah, here is the Wilderness Agility course, and if I tag this should give me 101 tickets so I can redeem it for the max experience. I figured I might as well just stay and redeem the max amount, even though it probably won't matter that much. The task was only for 50, but the other reason I wanted to stay is, that's a pretty stacked looting bag. A lot of alcohols, a lot of supplies for wilderness bosses. The prayer doesn't matter too much because I should be able to easily grow prayer potions or, Renars for it. And unfortunately, the wilderness agility course is a little weird. So I'm getting 5 times loot. I have no idea why. The minigame multiplier, if it was counted as that, is 8 times. The drops are 5 times more common, but I don't think that should mean 5 times more loot anywhere. And Hotfoot has no perks that should mention more loot here. That said, Hotfoot is doubling the lap count, but it doesn't double the reward streak count or the tickets you get. And I did lose a 10 streak because I had to log out at some point. So, I don't know. I might come back in the future to farm more loot if I need anything else. Because this does seem a lot better than transmuting chaos, or fire runes to chaos and chaos to natures to sell. That's what I have been doing, mainly just as a passive on the side. But, yeah. I think this probably wraps up most of the wilderness stuff, or at least the easy wilderness tasks I want to knock out. Still have stuff to farm like revs and some of the bosses, but I also have another region to get. So completing all those easier tasks around the wildy got me 21 over what I need to unlock my next area, which kind of throws off my pacing a bit. So pretty much what I was planning to do is go magic early on because it's really useful for a lot of wilderness content, farm the wilderness content, then once I get some more points, I'd go send Jad, and then go back to Varlamore, starting to focus more on melee. But now I already have my next area before I did all of that. And my next area is going to be a familiar one I've taken a few times in the past, and now is going to be my most picked region, Asgarnia. So yeah, it has God War's Dungeon, a lot of fun content there, definitely synergizes well with Evil Eye. The Echo item isn't as exciting for what I'm planning to build towards anyway, but it is something I do want to play around with later, the Fang of the Hound here. And it is a very good melee region. Unfortunately, I don't think Defender is going to be that important this time, but it's still one I want to unlock, and unlocking it earlier than expected might need to make me reevaluate some of my plans, or at least how I'm going to progress in the Demonic Pacts. But yeah, there is my second region, and that should open up a bunch more tasks, so I'm not going to say I'm going to quickly get to the next tier of Relic, because that's still quite a far ways away. But I don't know, I might be able to push that a little sooner than I thought as well. But still a lot to do in the wilderness, and now a lot to check out in Asgardia. So I've went around Asgardia and knocked out a lot of the really quick and easy tasks. I don't think it's going to change too much of my Demonic Pact plan. For now, I just went up here to this accuracy node. I just would have got it a little later, so I should be able to get this before some of the bossing I plan to do, which will be nice. Aside from that, though, I want to talk a bit about why I picked Asgardia and how it fits into my overall plans. So one thing I've already done is a bunch of farming. I went from having just one urban allotment patch to 3 herb and 2 allotment patches, which has made it a lot easier to get experience. Also 2 more tree patches, so yeah, farming is going to be a lot easier and quicker now. Also was able to get a bunch of herbs and start trading herb lore a bit more, you know, starting to get stuff like supersets and ranging potions soon. So yeah, that will help a lot with trading as well. And the other big thing that Asgardia has is mining. So I not only get the Star Shop, which is kind of big because stars have Stardust 8 times boosted from the minigame multiplier. So the Celestial Ring, which is what I was actually going for originally, was only 2k Stardust. But for every 100 Stardust, I can get a bag of gems that has 40 gems. It really doesn't matter which gems they are, though, because Transmutation here can turn them all to Dragon Stones. So that seems like a much better way to train crafting than using the Alderan Gem Shop. And aside from that, I also get Motherlode Mine, which probably is not going to be that useful, honestly, just going to do it for the tasks and leave. Although I do also get stuff like the gem bag there, which could be used to buy gems for the gem shop faster, but, well, I think Stardust is going to be better for that. And it also has the Mining Guild, and this is what I was really interested in, because with Hotfoot, I'll also smelt them into bars, and with Barbarian Gathering, I can also gather stuff like Mithril and Adamant a lot easier. But the Mining Guild has minerals, which are also 8 times boosted. That lets me get the mining gloves to make mine those ores a little more AFK for Barbarian Gathering. And also I can trade in those minerals for gems as well. So it just seems like an overall good synergy. And the other big thing that really pushed me to Barbarian Gathering was the Mining Guild has Amethyst, which you can also craft for a bit more crafting experience as well. And with Amethyst and Barbarian Gathering, it's the highest experience you can get in the league, I think, for mining. It's not super AFK, but the highest experience. Also, the star here is 800k EXP per hour, so not bad for a pretty chill method. So, I don't know, mining is really well covered with Asgardia. A lot of methods that I'm going to start digging into soon, and probably put this to use to also get some crafting. So a quick update on mining. I went to Motherlode Mine to get full Prospector, which still wasn't that quick even with the 8 times boost, and recolored it gold for another task. Then went to the Mining Guild and got myself mining gloves, and then just mined a few more stars. So yeah, doing pretty good for mining, and now I have a bunch more Stardust I can trade in, and I got it wrong in the previous clip. It's 300 Stardust per gem bag, not 100, so not quite as crazy, but yeah, this is still going to be a ton of gems, and if I convert them all to Dragon Stones, yeah, this is going to get me a ton of crafting levels, so hopefully I can also now push for some of the other crafting tasks, like making a Fury and such, and also not that far off getting to Amethyst, which will be a really good experience, and also might be useful. I'm not sure how much I'll actually use the Amethyst stuff, and I'm still kind of behind on fletching for it, but yeah. So I was able to do a bunch of AFKing, shooting stars while I was at work, and get a bunch of Stardust for a ton of gems, and I've just been doing some mining while they all converted to Dragon Stones here at the Mining Guild. I got a lot of smithing levels too, because I did a lot of Adamant and Runite, and with this Amethyst here, I should be getting 99 mining. So yeah, I'll probably be back in the future to go for maybe 25 mil and such tasks here. But for now, I think that's more than enough mining, because I don't even know how much I'll use all this amethyst, and I'm almost done converting the gems. So it seems cutting dragon stones is like 4 to 5 mil experience per hour, yet somehow it still felt a little slower than I expected to get through all those dragon stones. But in just a second now, there is 99 crafting. I figured it was worth just knocking this fully out and not just making the Fury Glory and such, because the crafting cape is actually going to be pretty useful, because this is still a really good bank. Now, I do have Evil Eye that can teleport me to the bank at Huey, but the problem with that is this menu is kind of a pain. So if I want to just kill a boss like, say, Vardorvis and then go bank, I'd have to constantly be pulling up the menu Vardorvis, then Huey, Vardorvis, Huey. So with this, with the crafting cape, I could just teleport to the bank with the crafting cape and then just last destination to a boss on Evil Eye. So that should make it a lot easier for actually farming out bosses and banking than having to use this for both. So I've been thinking about it as I've been working on tasks over the past day, and I think I do want to change up my plans for packs a bit. So the plan was to go into magic to help with things like wilderness bosses and Jad, then start investing into melee for things like moons, and then later go into range after I got most of the main stuff out of the way. I still want to do all of that, I just want to change around the order. I still want to go a bit more into magic, getting the accuracy and water stuff, and then instead of going to melee, I think I want to go into range, because I was looking at it, and Chaos Fanatic is something I want to do for the Malediction Ward, because that's what the pact has. It's really hard to kill Chaos Fanatic with both Mage and Melee, so I think it would make sense to invest into range a bit earlier, and to help with that, I'm also thinking it would be worth pushing for my final region, because once I get that, there's going to be a few easy tasks I can knock out there, and yeah, getting pretty close. So to help with that, I've been working on some tasks. As you can see, got some skills up here, and 10 minutes till I get logged out. Hopefully not going to be an issue. But I also got some clues. I really would like to get some nice boots from the mediums, but just any of the log slots and stuff would be good for points. So let's just see what I get. One unique item in that. Probably not going to be too much in just the easy clues here. Although I think I did need those black plate legs for one of the other tasks to equip black armor. Oh, a ham joint, that's cool. Okay, well, I think I got a few tasks somewhere in there. Yeah, some log slot tasks. I'll have to go back and make sure I note down. And if I click these, that should be equip some black armor, which was just hard to get because there weren't many sources. Now let's see if I can get some boots. The Crozer, I think, is you needed for a clue step later, so that would be good. And first master. Oh, now it's going to chime because things fell on the floor. And darn, no boots. Can't say I really expected to get a pair of Rangers or stuff, but it would have been nice to get early on, especially like even just wizard boots or such, because I don't really have boots for maging, and I'm currently still maging. But I did get a headband, a crow's ear, a stole. I think those are all needed for clue steps later on, so that will probably come in handy. And for the hards, probably not going to get, probably not going to get much, and I got a Robin Hood. And, ooh, blessed chaps, that'll be nice. And, oh, wow, I got to 100 log slots. So, I think that was a lot more than I was expecting to get. And, let's see. Decent bit of points, and that actually was a fair few tasks. So, yeah, hopefully in the next clip I'll be able to unlock a region or a relic. Oh, there we go. I decided to send a few more clues, and there is Holy Sandals, which will be a pretty nice upgrade for maging. So I did some mahogany homes for construction, and then decided to come do my Fire Giant Slayer task to work a bit on Slayer and maybe get a Rune Scimitar, and forgot that base 40s would be a hard task, giving me enough points for my next relic. So yeah, let's just get that now. Now you might be wondering, what am I going to reload into? And the answer is Flow State. So I think this relic is maybe a bit misunderstood or underrated. It is kind of like, or I've seen a lot of people say like it's more of a win more type of relic, you know, it doesn't really solve anything, but the way I look at it is all relics are really just time saves. And I'll just unlock this now. But all relics are really just time saves, so if it saves more time than the other options, it's still worth it. And for me, I was already planning not to take Reloaded because I thought it would be paired against something really strong. Admittedly, Flow State probably not as strong as I thought it would be, like, you know, Banker's Note. But since I already wasn't planning to take Reloaded, I wasn't really like dead set on any of these other options, and the one I was looking at was Endless Harvest, because that would not just make it more AFK, but it would 2 times my resources, which would double my experience, making it easier to get the 50 mil tasks. But Flow State kind of does that, but better. So it makes all actions 2-tick, or at least the following actions: mining any rock, which is around 50% faster, cutting any tree, which is twice as fast, and fishing, which is like 150% faster. So pretty much it equals around 2 times faster between all the gathering skills. On top of that, it speeds up cooking, fire making, offering bones at an altar, fletching actions, smithing, which is also a big one because Hotfoot solved bars, but it still was kind of slow to smith them on an anvil. Now it goes from 5 ticks down to 2 ticks, which is a pretty good solve. Some crafting, though gems are still the same speed. Harvesting herbs and allotments, which will be very good if I go for 50 mil farming, because yeah, I harvest snake grass for that. And also transmuting, alching, and some other various things like valuables. So it just seemed like overall this had the most variety and value, because across all these skills I feel like it's going to save more time than reloading into any of these other skills. Like soul harvest for rune crafting would save me like 7 to 10 hours, but I feel like overall this will be faster, especially for the gathering skills. Because another thing is, one thing I saw is that it makes skills less AFK, and it kind of does. It's not quite as good as like Production Master in that sense, where, you know, everything was instant, but still does provide a similar like time save, so you can spend less time doing the boring stuff like smithing and more time doing the stuff you want to do. And for gathering skills, though, it does make mining less AFK unless you do stars. It goes really crazy with stars. But wood cutting, trees are on a timer. Fishing, Karamron spots don't move. So it really just be how quick the inventory fills up, and I can always dispose of items from the knapsack. So I don't know. I think it's overall going to be very helpful for finishing off these skills and getting to like 50 mils, in the ones I already got to 99. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to using that. I was hoping to get it a little sooner because I'm already pretty close to the next area, but it's definitely going to help with pushing future tasks. Well, that was a surprisingly uneventful Fire Giant task. Got 1 Rune Scimitar and 1 Laren's Keys. But I was able to use the Rune Scimitar of an ornament kit I got from Beginner Clues for that task. And I also did Mole Slippers, which I was able to use with the Holy Sandals to make Holy Molies, which was a task as well, but I did that earlier. But I wanted to show real quick why Flow State is so good. So it allows you to do things in 2 ticks, but that includes forester campfires. So this is how fast the campfires are now, which is a lot faster and a lot more AFK than normal fire making too. So you're getting the same experience rates as normal fire making, but with the AFK of campfires. So this should make fire making training a lot better. But the other thing is, I did get the fletching knife from Veil Totems, and how it works is it goes to 2 tick from flow state, then down 1 more tick from this, so it should be 1 tick. And this doesn't now just allow me to make bows at 1 tick, but shields, which normally take like 7 ticks, should be 1 tick too. So yeah, this is really good for fletching and fire making, and since I didn't take woodsman, that is going to be a pretty nice benefit for training up those skills. So yeah, but I'm going to knock out the last few tasks now to get the next area. And with finishing the Wilderness Medium Diary and getting an EQ key, which might actually be useful for me later on, I now have enough tasks to unlock the final region. So the region I'm going to pick is one I was in, I think, at least once before. It's Mauritania. So yeah, a lot of content here. Barrows is one I was not expecting to get this early, and part of why I rerouted. And I don't know, also has Theater of Blood as my raid region, and a lot of other content that pairs very well with my other choices. So let's just unlock it, and yeah, that is all my regions. So there's going to be a few easy tasks to do there, like to go kill a werewolf and I think Barrow stuff. So yeah, there is my final region. Also, apparently easy combat achievements from the autocompletes. Neat. But yeah, but I think this is where I'm going to be wrapping up the first episode. I think this is probably the most I've done in a First Leagues video, getting all the regions up to tier 7. In the next one, I'll definitely be delving more into packs, so I can fill this tree up a lot more, and taking on a bunch of bosses in the process. So hopefully you're looking forward to that, and until next time, goodbye.